What's up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the AquaShed camper cover from ADCO. This is a great solution if you want to cover up your camper and put it away and keep it protected from the weather and the UV rays. Let's take a closer look. We carry a lot of different camper covers on our website. It can get kind of confusing. They throw a lot of information at you, and it depends on where you live, which one's going to work best for you, or how much you use your camper. It's just a lot. So I laid out 3 of them to show you and go over which ones works with best situations, so it helps you out picking out your cover. First up, we have the polypropylene one. This is the most breathable option and good for short-term storage. So what that means is it's good for when you're using it in that season. If you only use it once a month, but it's the summertime, you can throw this cover on there in between uses and it'll keep it nice and dry. It is the most breathable though. It doesn't have a cover on the top, so it will allow some moisture in there because it's so breathable. That's why it's not good for winter storage. When you go to store winter, you want to get a more heavy-duty cover. The next cover we're going to show you is the AquaShed. Now you'll spot the difference right away. It's got a more reinforced top on this one. Our last one was made of the polypropylene all around. This one still has it on the side, so it's still nice and breathable on the sides, but on the top it's reinforced for rainy climates. So if you live somewhere where it rains a lot more and your camper's going to be out there, this is going to be a better cover for you. It's got 3 layers. There's actually an image on the box that helps explain it. It's 3 layers of protection against the rain, but also it's breathable. So the rain, if it gets in there to one of the layers, it can get out and it won't ever get to your camper. That way it doesn't get trapped in there and cause it to get mildewy or smelly or ruin your camper at any way. But with that said, if you live in the southern United States and you're in constant humidity, this cover is not going to be good for that. That means that humidity will never dry out because the water will always be in there. You don't want to get this cover for that one. You want our next one. The Tyvek cover is going to be the most heavy duty and best one for all climates. You see the material on top of this one is made out of actual Tyvek material, which is what they usually put on the side of a house before you add siding on top of it. So if it's good enough to protect your house, it's going to be good enough to protect your camper. It already feels more heavy duty than the last one and the one before that. It's going to be great. It's your long-term storage solution. So if you're putting it away for winter, this is the cover you're going to want to do. It's going to stay on there for months, protect it against all the rain and the snow that come out, and not to mention when the seasons change, you're going to have pollen. It's not going to let any particles through to get on top of your camper itself. So it's protected against everything it's going to be out and exposed to in the elements. If you want to hear a little bit more of the comparisons between the covers, you can stick around at the end of the video and watch our discussion I had with our writing team here. Along with picking out the right type of cover for yourself, you want to make sure you get the one that's going to fit your camper the best. So it means you probably need to measure your camper before you buy the cover. The way to do that is you can just measure from the bottom here to the top. And we did that earlier, and it measures out to be about a little over 32 inches. Now we're going to measure from the back to the front. Now, the same thing goes for the height measurements. Is you don't do any extras on there. So you have the extra AC unit and these extra roof bars on top. Don't measure those. These covers are made to have a little extra on top so you can pull it over there and it doesn't cause any issues. So it is kind of accounted for already in the cover. Same goes for the front. So we're going to measure all the way from the back. It kind of comes out like this at the back. We're going to measure all the way up front. In line with this front box here. Looks about 12 feet. So it's going to be 12 feet long with 32-inch high. So that's good to keep in mind to get the right cover. Let's check out the top of the cover first, because that's usually what sets these covers apart from each other. This one is a 3-layer design. So what that does is it keeps the moisture from getting to the bottom layer and your camper, but also is breathable enough so that it doesn't hold the moisture in there. The AquaShed has been designed for those rainy environments. What it's not designed for is humidity. So if you live in like the southern United States where there is a lot of humidity, this cover isn't the one for you. I would go with one that breathes a little bit more. There is other options that are more breathable covers. Those are the ones to go with. Coming in a little closer, I want to kind of check out the texture and the stitching of the cover and see how it's going to hold up. The top definitely feels more cloth-like. The sides, it's a little rougher, but they feel tough. I mean, I'm going to rip at it a little bit. Even though it feels like cloth up here, I'm pulling on it pretty good. It didn't leave any marks or anything, and I didn't feel like it was about to break, so that puts some confidence in there. They also have the double stitching that goes all the way around it and down the seams in the places that it gets pulled on the most. Maybe when you're pulling it on, you can see it's going to pull right there on that corner and add more stress to it, so it's designed to hold up to that. Now when it's time to uncover the camper and take the cover off, you can fold it up and fit it in its own bag. That way it's ready to go for next time. Let's check out how easy it is to install. Getting ready to install the cover on the camper, just wanted to show you it is marked front and rear, so that helps when you're going to lay it out before you put it on there. You know which end it goes where. I'm going to walk the rear over here. I'm going to attach this one corner here on the bottom so that it'll catch there and I can spread it across the top of the camper. You probably set a little bit more of the cover on top so it comes over with me. Get it underneath there, and I'll start pulling the cover back up over and adjust it as I go. Let's get the rear on there nice and center. Stretch it over the AC. It's made to be stretchy, so it's not that hard to do that. Go back over the other side and adjust it there. And it's installed. With the cover installed on the camper, now we're going to attach it. So we're going to run these straps underneath the other side. You can see that they're sewn in, so they're not going to come detached and you can't lose them. I suggest keeping it like this and throwing it over that way it's got some weight. We're going to do the same thing for the next two straps. With it over on this side, we'll just go ahead and secure it here at the buckle and then pull any excess of the strap out. Looks like it's nice and pretty tight. It's going to hold it on here. We'll take the rest of this and tie it up here, and I'll repeat the process on the other two straps. It also comes with this rope that you can run through these grommets here at 4 points on all sides of the cover if you want to get it even tighter to your camper. I feel like it's pretty tight right now. I mean, I'm going to try and move it back and forth. You see, it's not moving that much. I can't even pull it up here because of the straps underneath are attached, holding it in place. Welcome to Auto, everybody. Today we're going to go over a few of the camper covers from ADCO we have set up today. We have 3 of them we're going to look at. The one we have installed right here in front of you is the tie-back one. It's the most heavy duty. It's the one for long winter storage, so you want this one if it's going to be out there through all the seasons when you're not using it on the off season. It's got the nice tie-back material on top, just like siding on your, what they put on the side of a house before you put the siding on there. Got the size polypropylene, which the other cover over here is all polypropylene. So there's going to be the same material here, except this one doesn't have a nice top like this one would have. You have the reinforced corners here too. So when you're going to put it on, if it gets caught on the camper or anything, you don't have to worry about like ripping right through that part. So I think that's the only parts that are going to catch. Plus, You have the tie down points with the included rope to tie down and fasten it to your camper itself. Any questions so far?
And then you have an AquaShed up too, right?
Yep. We'll go on the other side of the AquaShed. I laid it out up here. Show you the difference in the tops of it with the tie back one and the AquaShed one. Doesn't feel as thick. This has almost got like a, what would you say, a plasticky feel kind of.
Yeah, like a thicker plastic on the tieback, and then the AquaShed one kind of just feels like a slightly thicker polypropylene.
Yeah, this feels more like cloth material, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can feel the difference for sure. And this is the one that has the 3 different layers. So it lets the water out. But as you told me earlier, it's not good in humid areas because it's just going to hold all that humidity.
Yeah, I looked into a little bit more, and it looks like, yeah, if you're in a wet or rainy area, you probably want to, like, I don't know, like I'm thinking like Seattle. That's the only place I can think of right now that's super rainy. Getting the AquaShed, but if you're in an area where it's rainy, but also can get really hot and humid, and to have more of a well-rounded, I guess, climate, then probably one of the other two would be better. I am curious though too, because I know the Tyvek is supposed to be, like they mentioned the descriptions, it mentions a lot like it's good.
Propylene one, sorry. That one's more for like when you're not using it in the summertime or whatever. You're not supposed to leave it on there very long. It doesn't fully protect it like these do.
So the propylene one is just mainly just if you just want something quick that you don't, I guess it's like the cost-effective one that you don't need it for too long. Okay.
That's kind of what we were thinking, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of pitched it like, yeah, maybe you live somewhere there's not really a winter season, so you don't need the heavy-duty ones. There's no winter to put it away for. This is a nice cover that just protects you from the sun, pretty much. It doesn't really do much to protect it from the rain or anything. I think it'll go right through. It's super breathable, though, so that's what we said. That was the positive thing we said about it. We're kind of being a little negative about it. That makes sense. And they all attach the same way and fasten down the same way. If you want to look at the buckles, we can look at the buckles next. Oh, I guess here? Can you see under here still?
Let's see. Let me get down on the ground here. Okay.
So you just throw the buckle underneath here to the other side. This is sewn on to the opposite side, so you don't have to worry about these being unattached or losing them. So that's kind of cool that they're always there. Just clamp it like that and then pull it tight. I was having a little trouble with the straps. For whatever reason, I don't know if you can see it clearly.
Yeah.
But instead of it running through 2 different parts, this open triangle part lets it move around a whole bunch. So as I was trying to pull it, it would like bunch up in here because the strap's not being held down. Usually you'd run it through two little gaps that keeps it in line, but this one, the strap kind of travels everywhere where you're trying to tighten it down.
So installation then is pretty easy and straightforward.
Oh yeah, it was quick. We just threw it over the top of it. It was stretchy enough to go around the whole thing. We didn't have to pull at it or struggle. Aiden helped do the front, and I did the back, which I could have done the whole thing. By the time we were done, I was like, oh, I probably could have done that myself, but I mean, it was quick.
Yeah, okay.
And the other thing we got to check it, we're definitely going to touch on in the video is measuring your camper to see exactly what cover you need so you don't get one that's too big or too small because there's a lot of different sizes out there.
Yeah.
And what we went by is measuring from the bottom of your camper to the natural roof height, which that doesn't include, this guy has a roof rack on his camper actually, and the AC unit over here, you wouldn't measure that, you just measure to the roof here. And then from the natural back of it to the natural front, not including any accessories up front. This would be the natural front of the camper.
Okay. I guess I'm also wondering for like the larger size, like motorhomes and stuff that and campers that you would put one of these covers over. Like, 'cause I know a lot of them have like the ladders or other things like sticking out in the either in the front or the back. I don't know if you know this, but um, how would you include those with like measurements, or would you not? No. Okay.
I don't think so because it gives you a little bit, it's elastic. You can see I can pull it out a little bit more.
Okay.
Covers that. Most of them, I think, that they say it's like 10 to 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's made
Okay.
to go more. So I think they take into account that it's supposed to be stretched over some items.
Okay.
It had a lot more wiggle room than I was expecting. It still fit really well because this is a 12-foot camper with the 12-foot cover, but there's still a lot of room to kind of go around the front end and over the rooftop accessories.
Yeah, 'cause I can hold on it here. It's not really moving. I'm not starting to pull it off or anything. It's going to knock stuff off top of it.
So I'd imagine it'd be the same with the larger covers, if they're anything like kind of how this one was all measured out.
And height, you said height is important too, right?
Yeah, so on the page
Okay.
it said to measure, yeah, like from the natural bottom of it to the natural roof.
Okay. Because I noticed too, because in the facets, they only have a facet for like the length boat you have rather than the height. And I'm just now wondering if it would be beneficial to add that. So people.
I think length is the most important measurement. It seems like from what we looked at on the other pages and all that, that's really the main factor that kind of changes between these, at least with the pop-up campers.
Okay.
And there's plenty of room, like height-wise. I don't honestly see that being a big issue, but we're just kind of going off of like what the page said and how to measure the dimensions of the trailer.
Got a little extra underneath, so if it was a little taller, it would be that big of a problem.
Okay. And kind of going back to the breathability, because I think Bob mentioned that in his comment before this meeting. So I guess of the three, how would you rank that? Like, which is the most breathable, which is the least breathable? From what you
Breathable would be the polypropylene one here.
Okay.
I think that's because it doesn't have one of these, not a hard top, but a different material top. I think this takes away from the breathability.
Yeah.
This is all this material, so I guess it just breathes. It can breathe all around. So this one definitely is the most. I guess the layer one for rain, since it's 3 layers and it lets the water out better, would be the second most breathable, and then this would be the least.
The Tyvek, okay.
Yeah. Because I guess when you're putting this one on in like the winter, storing for a long time, you don't want anything getting in there and getting moldy or anything.
Right. The only other question I really had is I didn't know if you've installed covers of other brands. I was just curious as to, seeing as I haven't had much chance to work on this product group yet, but I didn't know how these ADCO ones differed from like the classic accessories covers or like the Camco covers.
I'm not sure if I've done a Camco. I think I've only done ADCO ones. I did a couple. I haven't been on video for them yet, but I have done shot a few of the RV ones. But I think they were ADCO ones, so I'm not quite sure how they compare to the others.
Oh, I was just curious.
The RV ones are certainly way more involved to put those on. I know that though.
Yeah.
Climb up on
Yeah,
top and do that, and that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine, they're a lot taller and longer and yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all I had, unless you had anything else you wanted to add, or if Haley or Adam wanted to had any questions.
Nope, I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good too.
I
Okay.
think that's all I got.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
And that's it to get it installed. Pretty easy overall. It took me about 10 minutes by myself. If I had somebody else here, it'd be probably 5. I'd cut it in half. And that's just starting at the back and me not having to jump back and forth. My friend would help pull it up over the camper. It saves that much more time, but 10 minutes isn't that much anyway. That does it for a look at the AquaShed. I hope this helped.